take away whether it's, whether you approve of it or not, there's a shit ton of people that are making all of these platforms so incredibly successful because they're onto something, which is we are all lacking that human component now. I feel so very much. And it's because we've been sucked into our, all of the social media. And I mean, we lack that human interaction. I have this thing that I do now where I'll be walking down the street and I really fucking hate when people are looking down at their phones when they're walking. Like, I hate it. And so my new thing is, I don't care what age you are. It's typically millennial age. You are the non-millennial, which we have established, and I'll establish it as long as you want me to. On behalf of all millennials out there, I apologize for all these millennials whom you are talking about. You may proceed. God, thank you for that. They're walking through the malls, or they're walking in the supermarket, or they're walking anywhere, and everybody's looking down. And so my new thing is I actually kind of startle them, and I'm like, look up! And they, freak out at me, and I'm like, maybe if you looked up a little bit, you wouldn't miss out on what's going on around you. It's a beautiful day here in Burbank. And I get these crazy people looks at me, and I don't care about that, but it's the point behind it is look up, all of us. We are constantly looking down. Whether you believe in evolution or not, take the visual of the poster that we all know of that evolution, and guess what, folks? We're looking on the right side of that, or the left side of that, because we're going backwards because our freaking necks are bending forward, and next thing we know, we're all going to be walking on our hands and our feet because of these stupid devices. Gosh, you literally sound like you're from back in the day. Did I just lose my mind for a moment? You left this dimension for a quick second. Okay, and you went back. Okay. Bring me back. But hold on. Actually, you know what? I want to go there. Okay. Because here's a 20... I believe that kind of, sort of. Here's a 20... It's the principle behind it. You know what I mean? Yes. Here's a 26-year-old now speaking. When I get a notification on Sunday night, it happens usually, and it's really cool with this iPhone thing now. It lets you know how many hours or how many time you spent on your phone. Yep. And for me, gonna be honest, completely transparent here, mine ranges from about 4.5 to 5 hours a week on my phone. A week? A week. That's not terrible at all. But it is. No. To me, it is. A week? No. A week. Absolutely not. I feel like it's horrible. Okay, so mine is 3 to 4 hours a day. Wow. Yeah. But I do social media and stuff for a living and stuff. And I really don't. A lot of my time is spent whether, I don't know, looking at stories on social media, but that's really it. Maybe sending an email here and there. I haven't really took hold of my phone yet, I guess, and was like every other walking dead zombie millennial out there who's doing it. Yeah. But I want to bring it back to where you were talking about, maybe back in the day. What was it like to not have a dating app? What was it like to not have any of this shit? And I'm not trying to sound like an old grandpa being like, back in my day. But I'm trying to make a point of I feel like it's just it's becoming so easy for us to just get on an app and indulge or just seek love, seek attention, seek something that we're just craving. Why are we seeking it? Well, because we're lacking it. Okay, we're lacking it, but why don't we fucking do the work and put in the work to actually go and do this? And I'm not saying, but I am doing the work. I'm on an eHarmony, Tinder. No, to me, that's not putting in work. That's a convenience. Okay, so... It's a convenience. Sure. And it involves another... It's not like saying, Amazon's a convenience. Yes, it is a convenience. It's a freaking amazing convenience. But it doesn't involve another person. We're talking about people here. Human relationships here. We're not just talking about carrier to home to receiving the device or receiving your whatever you bought on Amazon last night, because I know you bought something on Amazon last night because they are fucking taking over the world. Point is when it comes down to dating, I feel like it's just so easy now to just get on an app and just do it instead of going outside, asking that girl out whether you met her at church, asking that girl out whether you met her at the bar, getting that chick's number, date that person, whatever you're going to do with her that night. I mean, you already know how I feel about it. I guess I'm just like, I want and I crave human relationship and human relationships, whether that means romantic,
friendship, or maybe it's just, hey, how are you? I crave that. I want that. I'm afraid, and I guess this is fear creeping in. I'm afraid we're going to get to a society of literally, we're going to send emojis. We're going to send quick messages to each other, and that's our reaction, and that's our interaction for the rest of our life is through screens. And I feel like that's just so easy nowadays, and I think that's just bullshit. And I'm not trying to sound 26 going on 72 right now.
Certainly you are.
And I am, maybe, but I guess that's just personally what I crave is, is that human relationship. And I'm not disbanding what social media is and how great it is and how much of a tool it is and how great phones are. I'm looking at my phone and I love my iPhone XS Max. I love it.
Me too.
I love it. It's a great phone, but there's a deep down part of me is like, this is BS, man. This is BS that there's these apps that people just make money because people are just wanting to either fuck somebody. They're so down in the dumps where they've given up on every human being. They'd rather find someone who is, I guess, all the intentional people from what we're reading here on eHarmony, every 14 minutes, someone finds love. Apparently, all the intentional people who want to get into a relationship are on either eHarmony or on Plenty of Fish or on some other app that's like, hey, I'm legit. I'm actually wanting to get to know you. But I guess it's just depressing for me to know that all the people that I actually want to talk to and get to know are no longer at your simple grocery store, at your simple, friend by friend meet. Like, hey, this is a friend of a friend, and this is Sarah. Hi, Sarah. I'm John. And you hit it off.
Hi, John.
I don't really hear those anymore. Like me and Kari met in school. Like that's pretty common.
Escuela.
Yeah, you meet in school, and it's like, hey, here's the thing. How's it going? My name is John. I like you. We want to get to know each other, and I guess ours was kind of cool because ours wasn't on a dating app. But I mean, I've dated two girls who were on my time on these apps. On one on Tinder and one on the Christian app, and I got to tell you, it was. I don't know. It didn't feel right, and maybe it's my own ego that's like, oh my gosh, you could have totally been with her the rest of your life, but you'd have to tell people where you've met. Maybe that's a thing.
I think that's probably a thing for some people. I will say this much, though. I did not meet my ex-husband on an app. I met him at a birthday party, and I have actually a really funny story. My ex-husband and his sister is like 2 days older than me, and we all went to high school together. My ex-husband, I don't want to call him that, but I don't want to use his name either because just whatever. So let's make up a name. My old buddy. His sister and I went to high school together, and Facebook happened, and everybody loses track after high school when you're in the 90s because it's just what happened because we didn't have Facebook. We were like pagers. Like we didn't even have flip phones yet. Like, ugh. So none of this shit existed. We didn't have any of this. What we were used to, my generation was used to exactly what you're talking about, which is just fucking walk up to somebody. Well, my old buddy was super shy. He still is to this day. He's just not good at bridging relationships with people. He's not good at that. He's the perfect candidate for an online dating app because he is not capable. I personally feel like he's actually capable of going and meeting people, but he doesn't think that he is. So he lacks that initial drive to go up, that confidence.
That zest.
Zest. Exactly. He lacks a little bit of zest to go up. So he's the perfect candidate for that. But we did not meet each other through an app. I was at a birthday party for his sister, and she's like, okay, you're totally going to marry my brother. I'm like, please do not do this right now. Please don't. That was 3 days later. I didn't leave his side until we got divorced. So, and that was 8 years or something. I don't know. He and I always say we've been together for 8 years, but 8 years has been going on since year one. So I'm not even really sure how long we've actually been together or weren't together or whatever. The two of us just legitimately felt like we had been together for a really long span of time. And I love him because of that. But we didn't meet that way. I had to go up to him and be like, hey, because he's not a mechanic. He actually builds Camaros and Corvettes. He's actually a brilliant aftermarket like designer. He's just amazing. But I had a problem with my Jeep at the time, and he's a Chevy guy. His whole life has been Chevys, and so I was like trying to like go pick up on him, and I had a problem with my sunroof on my Jeep Cherokee, and so I went over to him and I was like, hey, so I was wondering if you could look at my car. Total like blonde, like twirling her hair in her finger kind of a thing. Super like shy.
Just trying to get any excuse
flirty.
for him. Yep.
Yeah.
Any excuse.
Yeah. And that's not necessarily my personality type at all, right? But it was like, I was like, okay, well, I'm here. I'm supposed to be apparently having a conversation with this guy, and I'm supposedly being hooked up with him, and he has no desire to hang out with me. Little did I know, he's just antisocial and stupid when it comes to that shit. And I say that with love, old buddy. And so I go over and I'm like, hey, can you help me with my car? And he's like, yeah, I don't work on Jeeps.
Because he's a Chevy guy.
That's right. And I'm like, wow, you fucking idiot. This has nothing to do with my car. So, alas, eHarmony. Because it's just those people, it's a story we've told for so long, though. We ended up, I went back in and I called my best friend. I'm like, I am leaving this party in 22 seconds unless you have a better reason. She's like, stay there for one more hour. And I'm like, ugh. And then I did. And then I ended up making out with him. And then I ended up marrying him. Well, we were engaged 6 months later, and we were married a year and a half later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was quick, but it also was long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Me and Kari, she offered me Doritos. That was her way of, I have a crush on you and I want to get to know you.
Cool Ranch?
So, no, it was actually nacho cheese.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it was like crumbs.
Typical Mexican move.
Wow. Wow, we went there. Point is, she shared with me crumbs. Literally, they were crumbs. It was a big-ass family-size, you know what I'm talking about, those family-size Dorito nachos bag, family-size, and it was just crumbs. And that was her way of, I just want to talk to this guy. And me being dumb, because guys are just dumb sometimes.
Guys are really stupid.
I thought it was like, this girl's weird. What the hell? Why would she's offering me crumbs. Does she not see my size? I'm hungry.
She probably did and was like, you know what? I'm already going to look after you and your well-being.
And you know what? I got to be honest with you. After a couple projects later, because we were in the same film class and everything, I ended up really, really liking her. And now, obviously, I'm going to marry her. And I love her. But it is one of those things where, going back to this online dating, I guess we're too, and maybe we're again either preaching to the choir or we've already lost the people who are on dating apps, get out of here. This is stupid. I succeeded in this, but hear us out for just a second. I'm not trying to make you question the one you're with right now. If you've met this person on, your love on an eHarmony or a Tinder or whatever.
We want you to keep listening.
That's I praise it. It's great, good on you. I'm not at all judging. It sounds like we're judgy or I'm judgy. No,
we're not judging.
No, I hope it doesn't come off that way. It's just I'm more at a place where it's man, I crave that human interaction, and I just want that for people to have that
Talk
interaction.
Talk to us at almostbearpodcast.com.
Yeah, and you know what, and tell me or tell us, both of us, that you are in this.
Specifically direct all of your negative questions to John and all of the positive to me.
Sure, why not? And just say, hey, I found love on eHarmony and I love it. I want to hear that. And I'd be like, you know what? Yep. This is fucking amazing. That's awesome. That's so great, because you're actually telling me that this shit works. That they're not fucking lying to you. They're not fucking lying to me. And as much as it may be a struggle, for us to accept this, that, hey, you know what? They fucking work for people. And if they're finding love on these dating apps or these dating websites, fuck it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Truly awesome. But I guess I'm a 26-year-old. I'm not there.
I don't know why you're doing that.
I keep doing 27. I don't know. I like the number 7. That's one of my favorite numbers. But I'm the 26-year-old who I guess is trying to be 50 and saying, why can't we just talk to her, and you know what? If I have kids one day and there is eventually, face-to-face over screen interactions, and that's calling what we call dating now during those times, I guess we just got to accept these times, accept how this is how dating is. It's going to work over a screen. It's going to work over a